I just want to say horror fans deserve better. Man, I say that because look what's going on with The Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and you could kind of sort of say the same for Halloween, but at least we're still getting movies made. Sure, they're not part of the same timeline, and the timeline's kind of a mess, but that even goes towards Child's Play. We're still getting projects, shows, and stuff like that coming out. And you can still argue, like, well, that's kind of a mess, or here and there. It's not really horror anymore, it's more so comedy. Or you can make any type of argument with Child's Play, Halloween. But at least we're still getting them, and they have their ups and downs. Meanwhile, with The Nightmare on Elm Street, I made a video earlier saying that we're getting 2 films out of them, and not much to go off of besides one has distribution rights while the other doesn't. And also, one again is also got the blessing from the Craven estate, or Wes Craven's family, whatever you want to say. And that one, in some sorts, is like, okay, that's pretty cool. So let's see what can come out of that. It's just a whole mess with that right now, and same goes for Friday the 13th. We're getting a TV show, which is cool, and I'm going to watch it when it comes out, but it's a prequel. It sounds interesting, and I'm excited for it, because again, it's still something more to come out. But even with the rights and everything with that, what kind of Jason are we going to have in the future? Some people like the regular, normal, human-looking Jason, and others like the zombie Jason, like Kane Hodder's Jason, for example. There's so many questions here, and so much going on with the rights issues at this point. It's kind of impossible to figure out, like, are we just going to keep getting remakes, prequels? What's going to happen? So I basically made this video to kind of just to complain a little bit about, like, at least when it comes to those 2 franchises at the moment. The last time we got a Friday the 13th film was in 2009, and it was a remake. I felt like Jason was pretty cool in that one. The characters were possibly the worst characters that we've ever seen in a Friday the 13th movie. Really horrible dialogue and stuff. Whereas A Nightmare on Elm Street, people argue it's the worst remake that's ever been made, which I think that's kind of laughable, because I think there's issues with it. Maybe I should just make a video about this at some point, but either way, there's issues with it for sure. But still, those were the last films we got for a long time. I don't know. I don't know if we should have gotten a sequel to them to see if they would have gone better, but at the same time, well, with Friday the 13th, actually, we got a video game, and it was pretty well done, and looked like it was a lot of fun. I never personally had a chance to play it, but it looked cool. I always watched people play it, and I didn't have the resources at the time. Now I probably would have been really enjoying that game. I've seen some fan stuff put out there from the video game, which honestly makes me kind of want to try to jump back into playing the game. But point being is, like, we still get stuff, but it's not like new movies or anything like that. Now we finally are, but it's a TV show, and it's going to be 2 studios competing with one another for the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Basically, in this video, I just think we deserve better, because there's rights issues when it comes to Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, when it comes to Friday the 13th, with their right issues, it's split. Ownership is between the original screenwriter Victor Miller and the producer Sean Cunningham, and they did, I guess, after all of that, led to a collaboration under the Jason Universe banner, while trademark titles remain restricted. But at the same time, it's it is what it is, I guess. We'll just have to see what comes out of it, and hopefully we get good projects. But either way, it's been a mess ever since. So I guess we'll just wait and see. But I just feel like, I mean, I remember Blumhouse ended up saying that he would have Jason Blum wanted to actually have the rights to do a Nightmare on Elm Street movie and a Friday the 13th. And I don't even know if those would be good, because Blumhouse kind of, after Halloween Ends, and maybe even after, with Halloween Ends, kind of dropped the ball a bit. So I don't even know if that would be 100% a good idea. Now, I guess you could technically blame the writers and everything for Halloween Ends, and whatever your feelings on those films, who's to say, it'd be a good idea if you would want them to do Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, or have both of them. Maybe it would be cool for them to be under the same house at some point, so that way we could get more versus more stories from those type of, from A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. But either way, it is what it is, I guess. But I just feel like horror fans do deserve better when it comes to all of that, because we've been waiting for new projects, new something, because I feel like we'll always go see a film, even if it's the worst thing in the world, and we'll always say, maybe you should stop. But at the end of the day, we're still going to go see them. And sometimes we get gold, from a bad franchise, or bad set of timelines, I guess you could say. Because, for example, I actually am someone who enjoys Jason X for what it is. I think it's a fun film. Sure, there's flaws, or it's campy, but at the same time, it's a fun film. I would watch a sequel to that, to be honest with you. So I guess I'll just leave it there. What do you guys think? What's your comments on the horror fandom or sphere? How do you feel about what's going on with modern slasher films? So I'll leave it at that. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.